Most women have no idea they are doing this with their eyes, and it completely changes the way people treat them. One tiny change in your gaze can make people feel more relaxed around you, more respectful towards you, and even strangely more drawn to you. And in this video I'm going to explain the exact technique of how feminine women use their eyes successfully in conversations, in dating situations, and even in daily life. And we will not only learn one universal and easy to apply eye technique, but also I will reveal one mistake that is very common and that most women do without realizing, that strongly lowers your feminine presence. Your gaze sets the emotional temperature of the room. Imagine you are entering a room and people meet your eyes. Before you even say one single word, people have already decided how they feel about you. Because people read the eyes immediately. And you also do that, even subconsciously or unconsciously. So there are usually three things that people will easily notice in your gaze. The first thing is, how comfortable does she feel in her body? The second is she rather open or rather closed? And the third is she nervous or stable? The gaze creates emotional signals. And the way you look at people determines how safe and relaxed they can feel around you. And also, your gaze affects the way women and men treat you socially. Women react very strongly to gaze energy. Your gaze also decides whether they perceive you as a threat or as a rival, or as emotionally neutral and respectable. But also men read emotional signals mainly through the eyes. And your gaze can also convey calm confidence and inner stability. And most men feel more drawn to women who feel emotionally grounded. And they can also detect in your gaze whether you are feeling relaxed in your femininity or trying to work hard and pretend. Let me now explain you the concept of the soft eyes versus the searching eyes. And later we will also practice together. Many women scan the room with their eyes. They look for reactions. They look for approval. They check how they are perceived. You see this a lot in dating situations, in work meetings, or even when ordering coffee. This gaze I call searching eyes. The searching eyes are scanning. They are rather tense and they are usually looking for reactions. This creates restless eyes, even though the face is beautiful. And people react to this. They feel like the woman is seeking approval or trying to be interesting, trying to be impressive, versus the soft eyes or the feminine gaze. The soft gaze is characterized by very relaxed eyes and relaxed eyelids, slower movement, and awareness without searching. Soft eyes create inner security because they are calm, they are receptive, emotionally open and not trying to create an effect, not seeking approval. So you should always aim for the soft gaze instead of the searching eyes. So not only is the actual technique of the gaze important, but also the length of the eye contact. And there are three types of eye contact lengths. The first one is too short. So if your gaze is too short or your eye contact is too short, this is often perceived as insecurity. If your gaze, on the other hand, is too long, this can feel very intense or even competitive. So it is also not right. Then the third length is the natural feminine rhythm. Elegant eye contact has a natural rhythm that feels just right. And it corresponds very closely to the 4-second rule that is also known in body language. It is about when you look at someone, at a stranger, your gaze lasts longer than 4 seconds, it can be perceived as a staring. But if you release your gaze before the 4 seconds end, it is usually perceived as just an eye contact. So the length is important here. But how can you determine it with regard to the feminine gaze? After you have relaxed your eyes and applied the soft gaze, you just take a breath in and out, and after breathing out, you slowly and softly release your gaze. We will later practice this in more detail, but just that you know that the length is more or less one relaxed breath. And this will feel most natural to the nervous system and also won't create any pressure, but just feels comfortable. Now the thing that I have promised you in the beginning, the most common eye contact mistake. It is true that, because I have observed it and maybe you have also observed it, if you're not aware of it, you simply do that without having bad intentions. So most women and also men, when they are talking to someone and listening to the person, they even nod, but their eyes are already somewhere else. This happens especially in very crowded and lively environments. For example, in restaurants or in cafes or at events where there is a lot of things happening around you, people are passing, things are happening, and many people feel distracted without even wanting or without even noticing. Their eyes are slipping away. But the person that is talking to you notices this. If not consciously, they notice it subconsciously. And this eye contact mistake or eye contact habit, it strongly lowers your feminine presence and the connection between the person you are talking to. Connection is created through the eyes long before it is created through words. And let me tell you that people usually won't exactly remember what they said or what you said to them, but they will remember how seen they have felt with you. And you can make people feel seen only if you are visually present. And don't commit this very common eye contact mistake. So instead of the searching eyes or the slippery eyes, apply the soft gaze. And I promise you that you will be very, very successful and perceived as a very classy, sophisticated and feminine and just a very positive person. But now let's practice the feminine gaze. We come to part number 5. So you already know how the feminine gaze or the soft gaze looks like theoretically, but you have to practice it in real life in order to make it become second nature. I recommend you small daily practices in cafes, in elevators, in shops, in conversations, when you are greeting people, when you are ordering something, when you are talking to people. So what you should do is, I will now tell you the sequence, but all of this will actually happen simultaneously. But you have to know what happens. That's why I have to explain it step by step first. The first step is to relax and soften your gaze. How to do it? You already know that your eyes must somehow look relaxed. But if you struggle with that on a physical level, your mind can help you a lot. And I would really recommend you to apply this trick because it will instantly change your gaze. Think about something that is very heartwarming to you. So maybe a loved person or a child that you love very much, or a puppy that you find adorable, or something else that really warms your heart. It can even be chocolate cake. If chocolate cake has this effect on you, do it. Think about something that warms and softens your heart, and it will immediately soften your gaze. And it can even dilute your pupils, because such a strong effect do our thoughts have on our eyes. And it is not just a saying that the eyes are the window to the soul. And people who are sensitive and who are observant, they can see your emotions and they can perceive things in your eyes, even if it is just on a very subtle level. And I mean, you can also do other things with your eyes by having other thoughts, but that's not the topic of this video. Here it is just the feminine gaze and the soft gaze technique, and for that It is sufficient to just think about something nice. The next step is to relax your jaw. Because in your face we have a lot of tension stored. And when your face and your whole body is not relaxed, you will struggle with the feminine gaze or with the soft eyes. That's why focus your attention for a brief second on your jaw and just feel if your jaw is actually relaxed or tense. Because in most people the jaw is tense. And if you relax it, even if it's just in a very subtle way, your eyes will also relax more and your gaze will look softer. And then you just take the breath that I have already talked about. So you breathe in and out. And after that, more or less 4 seconds have passed, you just slowly release your gaze. And with slowly and softly, I don't mean like this, abruptly, but you really release it very softly. You can look to the side or naturally shift your gaze to something that is nearby. When you're in an elevator, you can just shift your gaze to the side, on the side where the numbers are. If you have something in your hand, you can also slowly shift your gaze down, but not too much so that you don't look too submissive. This can have another effect. Just very softly and naturally. And when you are in a conversation, you can do this, of course, several times, and it will also give the conversation a certain flow. Now let's do it together, okay? So I will try to do it with the camera, and you can also try to do it with me. So first we will relax the eyes and think about something nice. Then we will relax our jaw and the face, breathe in and out, and slowly release the gaze. Of course, you can blink in between, so you don't have to stare. I also blinked, but it is just about this natural flow of establishing the eye contact, having the soft gaze, the soft eyes, being relaxed and then looking away. Practice this, and I'm sure you will strongly enhance your feminine presence, and people will give you compliments. I often hear that I have beautiful eyes or I'm looking very kind, and I'm sure this is because of the soft gaze. And it will benefit you in your life, in all areas of your life. But this is something that has nothing to do with flirting. You can apply this gaze in all situations with men and women and children, and it will always be appropriate. If you want to learn more about how to have expressive eyes and seduce with your gaze, I have made another video in the past and I will link it in the info box and also here so that you can watch it next. It is a little bit different than this one, and of course there are much more techniques, not only with regard to the eyes but also with regard to your whole body language and your presence and everything else. So if you are interested in improving your feminine presence, your femininity, you should subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and most important, activate the notification bell, because only then you will be notified when I upload a new video. So do that, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!